Hello guys, and welcome here. Welcome to our Facebook and YouTube viewers. This is the Hitachi Truck Series race number 16 here today from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Today we present to you the Gainbridge 200. I'm Brian James here in the booth, proud to bring you coverage of this double points regular season championship race here today. Karen James, she ran yesterday in the Lift National race at the road course here. Did pretty well, got a top 10, and she backs that up with a pole here on the oval. To her outside will be that number 17 of Dylan Ibrahimian. Now before we get going, it's been a while since you all have seen a truck race. For those who are watching on Facebook, for those who are watching on YouTube, this is probably very familiar to you, but let's show you your playoff scenario. And you notice still the Christmas colors. That means there's no one in on points. But one thing I want to draw your attention to is the numbers in parentheses. Of course, Giorgio Stumu, he lost the points lead. He technically is locked into the top 20, so he can't fall out. Neither can Frode Maratz, neither can Max Anderson. Normally there'd be an X next to their names, but because they are so vulnerable to falling out falling out due to Dan Hummel back there, the possibility of a new winner today bumping them if one of them doesn't win the regular season championship, there's just so much that can happen in this race. Because keep in mind, it is a double points race, and that being said, again, being a double points race, you win and you're in basically. But of course you got to be in the top 20 to make that happen. Karen James is hoping to be in that situation. Dan Hummel, Mitchell Collins, they'll be battling for that final spot. Probably so will Jimmy Breeze. They're hoping their battle is not all for nothing. And we'll see what happens as we get going here from the Brickyard. Let's roll the intro, and we'll be back with your starting lineup here in just a moment.
You are watching the Gaming Collaboration Network, home of the Jello Cup Series.
Oh man, through turns 3 and 4, we're going to have ourselves another moto finish, and I believe this time the 43 Tim Randolph will win at Daytona.
The Lift National Series. Here we go. They make their way through turn 3 and 4. The pace car will peel off. And for the first time ever, the Lift National Series is green here at Daytona. The Hitachi Truck Series. And here we go. The pace truck is gonna peel off. And for the first time ever in GCN history, we have a truck series, and we are underway under the lights here at Daytona in Tuesday night heat. Start for us. Your GCN presentation starts right now.
And here we go. They make their way down the back stretch. Let's take a look at your starting lineup. That's on the left-hand side of your screen. And again, I remind you, double points at stake. Of course, this race is half the distance of the cup race that will be run this afternoon at 2:30. A lot of those guys also running in this race today, looking for a chance. And of course, a reminder, this is a restrictor plate package. They're kind of running the same package the Cup Series is running later, but this is the first ever truck race, I believe, here on the Brickyard Oval. We hope it's a good showing. I don't know what it'll bring. The pace truck is off. Now begins the fight for the regular season championship in the playoffs. Who will get in? Will anyone squeak out a last-second win? The green flag is out. We're underway at the Brickyard. Going to be side by side for the lead coming to the end of the first lap. Who's going to lead the lap? It's going to be Karen James. She'll pick up 2 bonus points for her effort. But Dylan Ibrahimian will take the race lead away. Again, that outside doesn't really work too well here at Indy. But you see, the more they stay side by side, the more it's going to help that 17. And keep in mind, Dylan Ibrahimian with a win, if he is in the top 20, he can make the playoffs. Still so much that can happen. Here comes Austin Shaw as well. And you got to imagine he wants to make a push to make the playoffs. Of course, he has never made a playoff in his Jello Cup career, or really his GCN career. And he's battling for third. He likely will be in the Lift National playoffs for the first time, but he would love to get into the truck playoffs. Of course, he won't be in on the Cup side, though. Unfortunately, not enough points and not enough time to chase down those points. But Dylan Ibrahimian continues to lead here. Here goes Austin Shaw and his teammate, Karen James. Now Karen James looks for the lead. It's not going to happen. Maybe she's just going to block Austin Shaw. I assure you, there's no friends there. Karen James knows what's at stake. I think she knows she doesn't have the playoff points really to make an impact. So she wants a win. Here we go, headed to turn 4. Can Karen James move to the inside? Not this time. But she is definitely quicker than that 17. Here goes the 48 for second. And the 48's going to go to second. Again, Austin Shaw has never made the playoffs in his GCN career. He would love to make his first. It would be so meaningful for that 48 team. You know, with the sponsor Stand Up to Cancer. A real noble cause for them. Of course, Austin Shaw very passionate about breast cancer awareness, and he would love to take that truck into the playoffs. Here we go. Battle for the lead. Coming to lap 6. And he will take the race lead away. Austin Shaw, the new race leader, here at the Brickyard. But it's not a safe haven yet, as there's still a lot of laps left. Another one coming into the picture, that's Hillary Sanchez, and if she makes the playoffs, oh boy, that 10 team could probably be dangerous. Here we go. Are they slowing down? No, they're not. The 17 is. He will slow down to come to the pit lane, and Austin Shaw will pick up his 2 bonus points for leading a lap. We are now at the halfway mark. Here comes Hillary Sanchez for second. Mind you, Max Anderson, I believe, is one of the ones battling for the regular season championship. And he just lost 2 positions. But keep an eye on that 10, because I'm telling you, if that 10 gets into the playoffs, they're a threat. Hillary Sanchez is always a threat when it comes to the playoffs. Here we go. They're slowing down. They're going to make their way to the pit lane. And keep in mind, a lot of these guys ran in yesterday's Lift National races here at the road course. They got to remember, it's the full pit lane that they got to run, 55. And they got to be very, very careful, because this is one of the most narrow pit lanes in the series. Here comes Austin Shaw. He'll pull into his pit box and pray for a mistake-free stop. It's going to be right sides only. Some strategy being played. See the 05 having some issues. Tough break for them. They'll lose a handful of positions. There's the 17. Where does the 17 cycle out in all of this? There's the 48. There's the 17. It looks like the 48 will retain the race lead for the time being. So we will have a post-race show after this. We'll show you the final standings, and we will show you the playoff picture. You won't want to miss it. It'll be here on GCN following the results of the race. There's Dan Hummel coming off the pit lane. Not a good sign that he's losing a lot of spots. He might actually be a lap down now. So that is definitely not a good sign for them. This could cost them the playoffs. Max Anderson's trying to close in with Dylan Ibrahimian. Austin Shaw, hold your breath, because it's not over yet. And the battle for second is on. This will help him for a little bit. But his draft is going to help one of those drivers get around for second, and it'll help Max Anderson keep it. 3 laps of racing to go. And yes, Dan Hummel is trapped 1 lap down. This will likely put an end to his playoff hopes. And boy, that 99 really closed up. Here goes Max Anderson for the race lead. And he will take it away from Austin Shaw. Or will he? Down the backstretch, will the Fords work together? They will not, and Austin Shaw will retain the lead for now. And instead, they're going to battle again. No, they're not. Boy, Max Anderson's got to be sitting there saying, thanks a lot, bud. You could have used your drafting help right there. And you see Austin Shaw is starting to get into rhythm here. 2 laps of racing to go. I remind you, there is no overtime in this race. So if the caution comes out, this race is over. Overtime will pick up next race at Rockingham. That'll be a first for the series. And first in GCN history that we will allow overtime in the playoffs. Of course, it will likely be a permanent thing. As you saw, the 17 and the 99 battle side by side, it won't matter. Here goes the 99 looking for the lead. The 48 shuts the door. Max Anderson doing everything he can. He knows what's at stake. He knows that 48 wins. It pushes someone out. But that 48's got the drafting help down the front stretch. Not anymore. The white flag is out. It's 1 lap of racing to go in the regular season. Presented by Mitchell's Memes. And this race is far from over as Max Anderson takes away the race lead. Again, he knows that if that 48 won the race, or wins the race, that moves the cut line. Turn 2, I just don't think Austin Shaw is going to get there. That's going to be a heartbreak for him. He just couldn't hang on in the closing stages. At least he's got the lift playoffs possibly to look forward to. Through turns 3 and 4. How's about a big win for the 99 team? And this will punch their ticket into the playoffs and maybe the regular season champion. Max Anderson, he's going to win the Gainbridge 200 at the Brickyard. Congratulations to the 99 team. The job well done. And they will be in the postseason. But again, your heart has to break for that 48 team. They had it at the end there, but it just wasn't enough. They will try again next year, I'm sure. And if not next season, hey, they got the Lift National Playoffs to look forward to. That's always a good sign. We'll be back in a few moments here on GCN. We want to show you your results, and then we'll be back with the post-race show here in just a moment. Welcome back here to GCN. Let's take a look at your truck standings. Of course, we now know the 10 names, the 10 drivers that will compete for the Truck Series Championship starting next weekend at Rockingham. And those names are, of course, Max Anderson. He won the race and he won the regular season championship. So he will start the playoffs with 31 playoff points. Then you've got Eric Faden, Trevor Collins, Kevin Thomas, Casey Naneko, Alexander Rowe, Giorgio Stumu, In front of them are Otts, Mitchell, Collins, and Jimmy Breeze. There was a late charge by Keith Stevens. It just wasn't enough to overtake the 40. And there was also, unfortunately, the heartbreak that Dan Hummel suffered in that race. Unfortunately, he will not make the postseason. So we head to Rockingham next, and then I believe Bristol. So we head to Rockingham, Bristol, and I believe Talladega, maybe. I can't remember what the third race is, but we will see you for the postseason starting next Saturday, or this upcoming Saturday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Until then, goodbye everyone.